The neighborhood had been quiet for weeks, but I knew it wouldn't last. Ever since I'd moved in, the head of the HOA, Karen, had been on a crusade against me. She didn't like my truck parked on the driveway, didn't like the color of my shutters, and especially didn't like the constant barking of my retired K9 unit, Thor. What she didn't know was that Thor wasn't just a dog, he was a trained protector with instincts sharper than any alarm system. I had grown used to her notes on my door, the passive-aggressive emails, and even her bold threats of fines. But the day she crossed my threshold was the day her crusade ended. I had left early that morning for work, locking up like usual. Thor stayed inside, curled near the window, his watchful eyes scanning the yard. Karen must have thought my absence meant the coast was clear. Sometime mid-afternoon, she used a spare key she'd bullied the previous owner into handing over. With her usual smugness, she let herself inside, muttering about inspections and violations. But Thor didn't take kindly to strangers trespassing. The moment the door creaked open, his ears perked up, his body stiffened, and a low growl rolled through the living room like distant thunder. Karen, completely oblivious, marched inside and started snapping pictures with her phone. Trashy curtains. Non-regulation fence. "Oh, the fine's all right for this," she whispered gleefully. That's when Thor stepped out from behind the couch, towering and silent, his golden eyes locked on her every move. Karen froze, the blood draining from her face as the phone slipped from her hand. Thor didn't bark. He didn't need to. His mere presence filled the air with tension. Slowly, with the precision of years of training, he advanced until Karen was backed into a corner, trembling, her voice stammering something about just checking. By the time I returned, Thor was sitting calmly in the hallway, blocking her escape. Karen stood pale and shaking, still pinned by his gaze. "She broke in," I said, my voice low as I dialed the sheriff. Thor just detained her until I got back. The deputy laughed when I explained what happened, cuffing her on the spot for trespassing. From that day on, Karen never so much as looked my way. The HOA's threats stopped, the notes disappeared, and the entire neighborhood seemed to relax. As for Thor, he got an extra steak that night. After all, not many alarms can scare off an HOA Karen, but my K9 unit could.